Welcome to a 9-minute flow and stretch session. So, during this 9 minutes, I really want you to listen to your body and pay attention to what it's saying. So, if there are any movements that cause any pain or certain ways you can't stretch or things like that, listen to your body and adapt as needed. All right, so let's get going. You'll start in a standing position with your arms beside your body. You're going to sweep your hands up overhead and then roll down through the back and place your hands on the ground and slowly walk out into a high plank position on your hands. From this position, you're going to drop the hips down, squeezing the glutes and squeezing the quads, and then pressing back into a down dog there. So you're just going to flow between an up dog here where you're squeezing the glutes, contracting the quads, and then pressing into that down dog. As we come into this up dog position here, my shoulders are back and down, and my chest is open. And as we come into down dog, I'm making sure I'm extending through that spine. And I'm just going to flow between these two. As I go into down dog, you can see my heels are off the ground, but I can also drop them to the ground as needed. So most important thing here is really working that extension in the upper back, and then you can place the heels closer to the ground as appropriate. So coming back into high plank position here, and then I'm going to just walk back in towards my feet and slowly roll up through the body. Sweeping the hands up again, I'm going to roll down through that back again, nice and slow, trying to go through the whole spine. Place the hands on the ground and then walk out to that high plank position again. Is take my left foot and step it nice and close to my left hand, and then reach that left hand under and open up into that rotation. Reaching underneath that right arm and then opening up that chest, rotating through that upper back. I'm going to do this about 6 to 10 times. Feel free to spend a little bit more time in this position if it feels really good and it's kind of taking a while to open things up. As I'm reaching under that right arm, I'm bending the right elbow a little bit so I can reach nice and far. I'm going to place both hands on the ground, step back, and then walk the hands back into the feet, and I'm going to repeat on the other side. So I'm going to sweep those arms up above the head, and then roll down through the spine from the top of the spine all the way down to the bottom, placing the hands on the ground, and then walking out to that high plank position again. Now I'm going to step the right foot to the right hand, and then pick up that right arm, slide it through the left, and then rotate through that upper back. So again, about 6 to 10 times on this side, reaching through underneath that left arm, and then opening up through the chest and that upper back. So if you need to modify, you can drop that back knee so it's on the ground, or you could also place your left hand on a block if you need a little bit more height. So stepping back here, I'm going to walk all the way back into the toes again, roll up through the spine. And I'm going to bring those hands up overhead one more time, and then roll back down through the spine nice and slowly down to the ground, walking the hands out. And I'm going to go into that up dog, down dog again with a little bit of a change as we go into down dog. So from down dog, I'm going to drop one heel to the ground at a time, about 6 to 10 times altogether. Once I've done that, I'm going to go back into up dog, shoulders down and back, chest open, glute squeeze, quad squeeze, and then press to down dog, dropping the heels to the ground one at a time, about 6 to 10 times altogether, whatever feels good for you today. Coming back into up dog, glutes tight, quads tight, and then driving back into down dog, dropping the heels to the ground one at a time. Coming into high plank position here, and then I'm just going to walk the hands to the feet, bending the knees if needed, and slowly roll up through the spine. One last time here, I'm going to roll down through the spine, hands to the ground, walking out to high plank, and then I'm just going to sweep one of the legs through and go onto my bum, and then scoop myself onto my back. So from this position, I'm going to cross the left leg over the right knee, and I'm going to grab onto both legs here. So I don't want to grab onto the ankles, I want to grab onto the shin here. So I'm pulling gently on both shins, and I should feel a stretch in the glute. So make sure your lower back is still on the ground, and you're just gently pulling in until you feel a gentle stretch. So there shouldn't be any pain, or the stretch shouldn't be too much that you can't breathe through it. So I'm going to come out of that position and then just swap the legs. So the right leg is now over the left knee, and I'm going to grab each shin with my hand, and then again just gently pull in. And you may notice from side to side one is a lot tighter than the other, and that's totally normal. You may want to spend a little bit more time on that side that is tighter. Remembering to breathe through your stretches, inhale and nice long exhale. I'm going to unwind those feet and then place both feet on the ground with my knees about 90 degrees. From this position, I'm going to bridge up and then reach across the body and then back down. So I'm going to bridge up just like we did in glute bridges, reach across the body and back down. So I'm alternating side to side, reaching across the body and down. Bridging up, reaching across and back down. So as I reach across, that other arm is straight, so I can kind of roll right onto that shoulder. And I want to make sure my feet aren't too close to my bum or too far away, so my knees are at about 90 degrees right now. So coming back down so my back is flat between each rep, and then I bridge up and then reach again. As I finish up here, I'm going to go into the last stretch for the flow today. So I'm going to stand up here, and you might want to grab a pillow for your knee if you have one close by. So we're going to be doing a quad and hip flexor stretch here. So you can set yourself up close to a couch or something that you can rest a hand on just to get a little bit of balance. So I've brought one knee up, so as you can see I got a little too close to the couch there, so make sure you have enough distance for your body and that front leg. So that front knee is about 90 degrees, and then I'm going to pull just very, very lightly on that back foot. So for some people, if this stretches too much on that left quad, you can just leave that foot down on the ground and your hands by your side. So in this position, I'm also squeezing my left glute and making sure I'm not arching my lower back or pushing my hips too far forward. I'm going to switch to the other side. That left leg comes to 90 degrees, and I reach behind with the left arm to grab the right foot. Again, I'm just pulling very, very lightly on that foot to get a stretch in that right quad. Again, if you're very tight either in the hamstrings or the quad on that side, you might want to leave that foot on the ground. And I'm squeezing that right glute and making sure I have a straight line from that right knee all the way up to the right shoulder. So as we finish up this stretch on the right side here, that will be the end of the flow for today.